morning everybody and welcome again to our course on mechanical micromachining. In the last class we have started discussion about air bearing and we have seen that there are a lot of advantages of air bearing compared to roller bearing and the hydrostatic bearings, and we have found some of the good advantage of using air bearing for micromachining application for movement of x, y and z axis. So, let us continue this topic further and let us know that how these things are further utilized in terms of different advantages. So, in the last class we were in the wear of the aerostatic bearing and we have seen that we are not getting any physical contact between the two surfaces, and as a result we can go with a speed acceleration loading is a no problem for the bearing life. And then coming to the stiffness of the air bearing. So, how the stiffness means? Stiffness means that when you apply a load, how much is the deflection of that. Smaller the deflection, higher is the stiffness, that we have seen in one of the videos in the last class. So, air bearing provides a constant bearing stiffness. Why it is like that? Because if you see this roller bearing, now roller bearings have different type of rolling elements. If you see these things, so these are the rollers. What is going to happen then when it is under loading, correct? So, at that time contacts are here only. So, these are the contact points. So, these are the contact points with the shaft. So, this is the shaft and this is the bearing. So, when it rotates, at that time this contact points creates a very large variation in the stiffness. So, this is the variation in the stiffness, and what is our objective? We should get a uniform stiffness along the angular point, whatever be the angular position of the, let it be 5 degree, 10 degree or up to the 360 degree, one full rotation there should not be any type of variation in the radial stiffness, but that is not the case in case of ball bearing. But what is happening in the roller bearing? So, in the roller air bearing, so air bearing what is advantage? That we are getting a uniform film of the air all around the shaft, and because of that reason that we are getting a continuous or a uniform radial thickness along the against the shaft angular position. So, what is advantage here? That when you do machining operation and you are getting a radial stiffness different means suppose this is the high stiffness and this is the low stiffness, this is the total variation. So, that is a problem in the machining. Now, consider that you are doing one machining operation and let us consider. So, this is our turning operation, we are taking this example frequently. So, let us continue with the same example, and this is your tool and your tool is moving in this direction and this is its rotation direction. Now, what is going to happen because of this? Because we have seen in the few class before that there are different component of the surface roughness, components of surface roughness, right. So, those are the profile, then waviness and surface roughness, and we have seen that waviness is created because of the some vibration and chatter possibility of the machine tool. So, this particular whatever we are talking about radial stiffness, if the there is a variation in the radial stiffness, what is going to happen? That now consider that it is right now it is at this location, that the stiffness is high. So, at that time when you are cutting something here, that suppose you want to do a straight cutting up to this like this. So, this is your depth of cut and then you are giving feed in this particular direction from right to left direction. So, when you are starting now, what is going to happen? That at that time your stiffness is high. So, let us consider that which particular path you are going to get. So, you are starting with this particular part. So, as the spindle RPM increases, it is changing the angular position. Now, your stiffness is getting changed depending on that. So, this is the highest location and this is you consider the lowest location. So, at that time because of this variation in the radial stiffness, what is going to happen? That you may get a some type of variation in the geometry also. So, this is the same profile whatever you are getting in terms of the radial stiffness, same profile you may get in terms of the dimension. So, that is the problem here, but if you are getting a constant radial stiffness, what is going to happen? That you will get the same thing here also. So, that is very useful particularly when you are talking about micro machining or micro turning operation, where you want to cut a straight channel or doing a straight turning operation. right. The stiffness is produced by the uniform flow in the air bearing, and reaction force is experienced by the shaft from the external load is constant at all point of its revolution. So, that is what is going to happen in this particular case, because you are not getting a point contact which is distributed by several different type of ball bearings, but here you are getting a uniform air film, and that is the reason you are getting a uniform radial stiffness. This property is particularly relevant to the production of the good surface finish. So, that is what we have discussed here, that we want to avoid the change in the profile and change in the waviness. Roughness is mostly unavoidable, because at whatever is the small scale you definitely get the surface roughness at some type of rough peaks and valleys, but that can be accepted if it is within the tolerance limit. But we want to avoid the waviness and the profile errors. So, that is what is advantage here, that we have seen that if this is variation in the radial stiffness, then the same thing will be reflected into the component which you are going to machine. Tool life with the air bearing. So, how it will affect the tool bearing? So, lack of vibration and high rotational accuracy, drill cutters, grinding wheel, boring tools have a much longer life. Now, what is advantage of this thing? That we know that if there is a vibration, because of vibration, what is happening, that suppose your tool is, this is your initial condition of the tool. So, it is the, and this is the, consider your tool holder, it is holding the tool. Now, if there is a vibration, mostly vibration is the this direction. So, now consider you are getting a small vibration in this particular dash, and the same way for this side also. So, your this is your desired volume of rotation, right. So, this is the area, that means area or volume, whatever we are looking from this, then we are seeing this only, but if you see from the top, then we will get one circular path, right. So, this is the area where we want to actually focus, that means when you are drilling a hole, you are sure that whatever is the diameter of this is the diameter of the hole which you are going to drill. But when you are getting vibration here, what is going to happen? Your actual diameter is now this much, because this is what is going to happen, and that is also sometimes not feasible, because what is going to happen at the end, when you are going down and down with such a vibration, your tool will be broken. It will not sustain such a one sided force, because now what is going to happen because of this vibration or the some type of what you can run out, that your one of the edge will do all the works, but remaining edge will not participate in the machining, because by that time it will come on to the other side. So, that is the reason that you are getting a non-uniform distribution of forces, and at the time your tool will be broken, and that is common for all the cases. That means, that is applicable for all the tools wherever you are getting a vibration or the different type of other problems. So, here because of that you have very long life, that means in terms of wear and in terms of breakage, because we have understood that when you do micro machining with a micro cutting tool, your breakage is more frequent and you are not able to study the cutting tool life in terms of wear. So, that is the problem. So, in this particular case, if you are using air bearing, then you are sure that there is no vibration because of the mechanical contacts, and you can further study the wear characteristics of the different type of cutters. Right. So, reducing maintenance and the running cost, because now what is going to happen, that if you have vibration and rotational accuracy problems, then there are problems that after some times what you have to do, you have to calibrate it, because if you are understood that there is a vibration, then you have to find out some problems, that how to, what are the parameters which are creating problem, and then you have to spend some time and money for that. And this is the maintenance, because every time after a one day or after 1 week you have to schedule one maintenance, so that you can avoid this vibration and the rotational accuracy problems. But if you are using this particular thing, there is a chance that you can prolong this particular thing, that if you are doing maintenance after 1 week, if you are using air bearing, it may be after 1 month or 1 year also. And similar way you can reduce the cost during the maintenance and the some type of other cost related issues. Right. So, if you consider the PCB drilling, that whatever we are doing in the drilling in PCB, because we want to create some type of circuits on the SAR, at that time we start with 100 microns of diameter of hole also. So, sometimes it is as small as 50 micron. So, if you are looking at this particular 50 micron diameter, only air bearing spindles are capable to run at a required speed, because what is happening here, that when you are rotating at this particular thing, what is important is the surface speed or cutting speed, right. So, now consider this is the one diameter, one of the tool, this is diameter you consider 10 millimeter, right, and rotating at a speed is 1000 rpm, correct. So, now consider this is the edges, right, whatever edges we are thinking about this thing. So, this diameter radius is the r is 5 mm, and you consider this is the omega, correct. So, we know that V equal to r into omega, right. So, this is in revolution per minute rpm and this is in millimeter. So, whatever you are getting mm per minute. So, this is your cutting speed, right. So, if you calculate this particular cutting speed, what we are talking here right now, that you consider this is 1000 rpm, 1000 multiplied by 5. So, you are end up with a 5000 mm per minute, right. This is 5, radius is 5 and omega your rotational speed is 1000. So, you are getting 5000 millimeter per minute. Now, consider another tool, correct. Now, consider, let us not go into too much in micron detail, but let us consider 1 millimeter only, correct, and against we are getting the same thing again. So, now let us see that if you want to maintain this 5000 millimeter per minute, now consider we have formula again V equal to r omega, then we want to maintain this is a 5000 and equal to, now our radius is reduced to 0.5 now, our diameter is 1 millimeter. So, what should be the omega? Now, you consider this thing, so it is a 50,000 divided by 5, because it is a, this will come here 0.5 and then 10 will go. So, it is a 50,000 divided 5. So, now it is a 10,000, correct. So, now you can see here that if you are changing your diameter or reducing your diameter to maintain a one particular cutting speed, what you have to do? You have to increase the rpm. So, that is what is going to happen, that now consider instead of a 1 millimeter you are working with a 50 micron. So, here this is diameter. So, you are talking about a 25 micron is the radius, 25 micron is radius means 0.025 mm. If you multiply this thing and then you calculate this, it will be in terms of lakh. So, if you are working with this thing, then what is going to happen, that only air bearing, because when you are rotating in terms of a 2 lakh rpm or 3 lakhs rpm, at that time what you have to consider, there should not be vibration, because even a small sub micron vibration is enough to break this tool, and similar to that it should be free from run out. That means, run out should be within a prescribed limit or whatever is the allowable limit. So, in this particular case, this is the only air bearing which will helpful in the final DC taking the machining or the doing a PCB drilling or any other type of machining operation where you need a high speed. High speed with the air bearing, that is obvious that it has a very low vibration level. So, when vibration level is low, you can actually go beyond a certain limit of speed. Low frictional resistance. So, because once the friction is not there, there is no possibility of heat generation, and heat generation is one of the limitation which is because of the producing heat, and there is a friction also, and if there is a some type of thermal deformation of the component. So, that is not present here, that is good thing. Low loss of power, because now when you are rotating, when there is a friction and wear, you have to apply more and more power to overcome these particular things, but that is not the issue here, and very low heat generation. So, these are the some of the advantages, and because of that you can actually allow the shaft to be run at a very high surface speed. High surface speed, that means what we are just now taken one example about the cutting speed. So, that is the surface speed. So, these are the advantages of that. And now thermal growth of the air bearing, because if you consider our rolling bearing, rolling type element or ball bearing type element, when you rotate beyond a certain limit, at that time there is a chance of getting thermal growth of the bearing. So, because of the thermal growth, what happens, that some of the allowances will be changed and your particular location where you are targeting, that will be shifted to some other location. That we have seen in one of the videos in the thermal compensation of that Okuma system of the machine tool. So, what is happening here, that due to too many factors such as low friction, constant air flow and efficient power transmission, the heating effect in the spindle shaft is almost small, right. We are not getting friction, so no question of heat generation because of the friction. Constant air flow, so there is no variation in the air flow, otherwise air also creates some type of a small amount of factor, that is scoring effect, but that is also not present. And efficient power transmission, because there is no physical contact. So, there is mostly no question of generating heat around air bearing. And selection of a special materials and construction methods together with internal liquid cooling channels. So, even if you think that a small amount of thermal change will create some problem, then what you can do, that you provide some type of liquid cooling channels, then you can completely eliminate thermal growth and there is no warm up period is required. So, what is this warm up period? That when you start a spindle or when you start a machine, now initially what is going to happen here? At the initial stage or initial, that means initially machine is room temperature, when you are not starting the machine, right. Then you are starting the machine. When you start the machine, now you know that there are different components which are made of a different materials, and you have surrounding temperature. Now consider here temperature is 26 degree centigrade, right. And now when you start the machine, now there are lot of different moving element, rolling elements are there, then you are getting a temperature difference in a different component, temperature difference different component. So, what is going to happen because of that, that you will get some of the that means some of the loosening of the connection, in the sense that you are not actually getting the target value at one particular location. So, because of that, there is a growth of the different components in a different, because materials are different, their thermal coefficient of expansions are different. So, you will get a different growth in that. So, what you have to do, that you have to give one warm up period. So, you start the machine, do not operate any operation. So, here no machining operation, start the machine, do not do any operation, and then what you do, that you do a dry cutting. So, that means air cutting, in the air, or consider as a dry run. Why this is important? Because we want to make sure that all the components, whatever the components are there in the machine tool, they reach to their whatever the maximum thermal growth, right. So, because if you start the machine and put the component and then you do operation on that, what is going to happen, that they are all are not reaching to the same level of deformation. They are actually starting the deformation thermal growth, and they will reach to a maximum thermal growth after some time. So, you have to avoid machining during that particular warm up period. So, you have to provide some warm up period, so that there is a full expansion or the full thermal growth of all the components, and there should not be any further problem during machining. So, whatever is that defect you are getting, that whatever is the change in the original position to the required position, that will remain constant, because you have already given warm up period. If you do not give warm up period, then your particular required dimension and the original dimension will keep continuously changing till it will reach to this location. So, that is what is a very big advantage here, that it has low thermal growth. So, you do not need to give a warm up period. As soon as you start the machine, within a few minutes you can start or doing operation also. Now, let us discuss a summary of this particular aerostatic bearing. What are the advantages? So, it has a zero friction, so infinite resolution and very high repeatability is possible here. with a condition that you are adding a one particular encoder also, that if your encoder resolution is not good, then there is no way of you are getting the complete advantage of the spindle speed. Zero wear, it is very big advantage, virtually zero wear resulting in the consistent machine performance and low particle generation. Because whenever there is a physical contact, you always getting a wear of the any of the surface which is small, which is very soft compared to other surface, and those particles will further accelerate the wear of the surfaces, and then you are getting a inconsistent machine performance. But there is, we know that virtually zero wear present here, so you are not getting a variation in the machine performance, and that is the advantage. Wide temperature range and inherent low viscosity. So, that is because air has a very low viscosity. Even if you consider the hydrostatic bearing, there is a viscosity is depending on which type of oil or which type of liquid you are using, but here that is not the issue. So, temperature is a very wide range. Straighter motion, rolling element bearings are influenced by the surface finish and irregularity on the guides, because we know that if the surface is very rough, at that time rolling element is also in physical contact. Now, consider this is the ball and these are the two surfaces between which it is moving. So, this is outer rest, this is inner rest, and it is moving in this. So, you need a certain amount of roughness, otherwise what is going to happen, that this will start sliding instead of rotating. But if it is a very rough, what is going to happen, this particular contact will wear this surface and this contact will start eroding because of this abrasion wear, and then it will create a problem. But a small irregularities on the surface will not make much difference here, because your air is the one of the thing which is actually suspending the two surfaces, not the physical surface or physical contact. So, that is advantage. Now, if you see this particular graph, now on the y axis it is a cost and on the side it is a performance. Obviously, cost of the air bearing is very high compared to, now you can see it is starting from here compared to the air bearing, and roller bearing is in between these two. But if you see performance advantage, speed and accuracy, then it has a limit. For the plain bearing, very quickly you can reach there, but if you go with roller bearing, then you can extend this performance little bit, and it has a very high performance in terms of air bearing. But it does not mean that you always go with the bare bearing, because there are specific advantage why we still use plain bearing for a different application and do not use always air bearing. So, there are, and something is in between these two, that is also depend on the cost and the performance issue. Right. So, let us continue. Silent and smooth operation. So, roller or ball creates noise and vibration during loading, unloading and changing directions. So, that is one of the advantages here, that noise is also sometimes not good for the operation also, because if you are adding some type of sensor, echo sensor, which are based on the some type of signals which are created by the noise, then it will create some type of disturbance because of this part. When you are getting a smooth motion, that is sometimes very good for the operator also, that he is not working in a noisy environment. And unloading vibrations during this playing and changing direction, every time you will get some type of noise and vibration if you are using a roller and ball type of bearings. Higher damping, the air bearings have the squeeze film damping effect, resulting in the higher dynamic stiffness in the better controllability. That means, we have seen that if there is a variation in the forces, because of that variation, this air bearing will automatically adjust itself and there is no problem in the stiffness. Eliminate oils, because we are not using oil or anything in a dusty environment or dry machining, because when you do not use oil, at that time there are very many times very fine particles are actually spreading all over the machine surface as well as the around the machine part. Weighs are dry and bearings are self cleaning because of the positive air pressure which pushes dust away. If you remember that earlier animation that we have, where we have seen that this is the shaft, correct, and these are the actually bushing through which we are passing the air, correct. So, this air was coming like this and then it is moving to the atmosphere, right. So, what is advantage? By chance if there are some dusts available, because this is a positive air pressure, positive, they are actually expelling everything away. It is not sucking inside, correct. If it is going inside, then there is a problem, that then whatever the dust particles are there, that will become a part of the system or part of the full closed loop circuit. But here what we are doing, that we are expelling everything out. So, it is a self cleaning. Even if there are small particles are available, those particles will be quickly out into the atmosphere, and you are not getting any type of problem because of the small particles. And you are not using any oil also. So, when you are using this type of clean room requirement application, at that time you are not using any type of liquid. So, it is very good choice for this type of applications. Right. Higher speed, that we have seen that you can go with a higher speed and higher acceleration, because you are not getting any type of slip or acceleration in the surfaces. Now, let us see the what are the comparison between the all three. Air bearing is there, hydrostatic bearing we have seen, and we have also seen the roller bearing. So, here we have seen that it is almost frictionless and limitless motion increments are possible, because whatever the finest increment is possible by the encoder, you can give that motion, that is possible. Here it is a low friction, because still we are using liquid, the liquid viscosity play important role here, and here it is a stick slip, because here it is a mechanical contact between the two surfaces, and that is creating problem in the getting the frictionless surfaces. Damping related, here it is a low damping, here it is a high damping. So, these hydrostatic bearings are more good in the high scale, that means large scale machining, that we have seen that if you put more load on the top of it, this is not a big issue for the hydrostatic, and it is depends on the preloading, that we have seen in that video, that if it is a forcefully fit into that surfaces, then you are not getting too much variation because of the parts. So, it depends on the preloading. Now, system, it is a large system, because why it is large? Because you are not using only bearing, but you have to provide some type of air supply also, air pump is required, air compressor is required, then regulatory systems are required. So, it is very big system, it is not just a standalone and compact things. Similar thing for this also, but it is also heavy here, because you have to control the circulation of the oil here. Here what we are doing, that we are just providing the air, but we are not collecting air that back. But here we are doing both the things, we have to provide the air, then again you have to recirculate all the things inside the surface. So, it is also heavy, because you have to avoid some type of power part, so that you can actually circulate the hydrostatic liquid or any type of oil in a different way. Here it is a compact, lightweight and tough, because here these are independent, because you can independently work, only condition that you have to regularly lubricate this thing. No any additional circuitry required for any other type of thing. In both the cases, you require some type of closed loop circuit, so that you can monitor and regulate the air supply and the liquid supply. But it is compact, once you install it, then only lubrication is the issue, and depending on the lightweight and toughness, you can get the required results very comfortably. And that is the reason that most of this conventional application we still use the roller bearing, because we do not require such a high precision, and that also comes with a cost. Complicated mounting, because now we have to maintain a fractions of micron here and there also very judgmentally, because that is otherwise there is a large problem here. Must deal with the fluid, because now we have seen that fluid is creating a lot of problem here. Circulatory system should be monitored, then there should not be direct contact between the two surfaces. So, that is the big issue. Very easy mounting here, because you have to press fit it, and then you have to maintain that it should not be any type of other problem because of the loading or the any type of straight loading or the fatigue loadings. Cost is very high here, because you are again spending lot of money in the monitoring and the control of the air supply. Surfaces should be very straight, because if there is a straightness problem, then again, because again there is a physical contact between the two surfaces. When you are talking about the film thickness around 15 micron or 20 micron, your straightness should be much smaller than, at least 10 times smaller than the what you are talking here. So, cost is very high. Similarly, here cost is also very high, because here you are still using the same way, but you are using a liquid in place of a air. Here it is a very low cost, because it is a manufacturing cost only. Once you install the things, you do not need to provide additional support from any other parts. So, from this comparison, you can see that there are different type of bearings available. All of them have advantages and disadvantages. It is up to us or the machine supplier or machine builder which one is good for one particular application. Now, see, if you are going with a conventional machining, you can still use the roller bearing, because at a few microns here and there will not make much difference there. If you are going with a high loading capacity, you can go with a hydrostatic bearing, because the load carrying capacity is very high here. if you are going with a very gentle machining or extremely small dimension where 1 micron or 0.1 micron deviation will also make difference, then you can go with the air bearing. So, these are the different comparison, and let me stop this lecture here, and we can continue this topic further in the next class. Thank you very much.